Welcome all. As promised, this is Bobby's first game I could find on the internet. It's played in New York, USA in 1953. It's a game in which Bobby Fischer was black. He played this game against Dan E. Myers, and Bobby was 9 or 10 years old at the time. So as told, Bobby had the black piece and responds to e4 with e5, f4, king gambit. Bobby accepts. Bishop c4, knight f6, knight c3, c6, d4, bishop b4, pitting the c3 knight, e5, gaining space, hitting the knight, e4. Bobby attacks another attacker to the already pinned piece, which generally is mostly a good idea. Now, queen h5, of course, threatens checkmate. Bobby castles into safety. Knight g to e2. Now black is having a fine position. I think Bobby is equal, perhaps better. Of course he has to cope with his knight on b8 and bishop on c8, which still need development, but he does that with the value move d5, which also hits the bishop on c4 and simultaneously defends his knight on e4. Bishop b3, g6, hitting the queen but opening the king a little bit. Queen h6, bishop g4. Of course, it attacks the e2 knight. If white would do nothing and just recapture the bishop here, he would lose a pawn, because the knight on c3 is twice attacked and just once defended by the pawn. Bishop d2, coping with the threat and developing. Knight takes, king takes, and well, black is standing quite okay here. And as black stands okay, he plays g5. I thought a while why Bobby played g5, but then I realized this is his first game I could find, and he was 9 or 10 years old. So probably he wasn't yet the chess genius that he became a little bit later. I think he played g5 just with the idea to hold the pawn on f4, which of course is not necessary at all. Let's say black would have played a5, then white cannot take, because then he would lose the bishop standing on b3, and if white would choose another response, let's say a5 and then trying to kick the bishop, then bishop e7 is great. White has to surrender the queen to the black rook, so that's not an option. Although he played g5, another downside with g5 is of course that it opens the king, and you don't want to open the king, especially not if the queen is nearby. The opponent's queen, it is. White plays h4, wanting to open up the h file, and yeah, Bobby helps. G takes h4, and it's lost already. White plays rook takes h4, and now you see the problem. White has the entire h file for an attack. Already the queen and one rook are standing on it. The second rook will come to hate. And if that isn't enough, also the king already is open. Bobby plays bishop to f5, rook a to h1. Most natural move, I think. Also possible was knight takes f4, but I can understand this line of play. Bishop to e7, it's too late. The rook g4 check. There's nothing that black can do. Of course he cannot take, because then immediately white will checkmate on h7. Bobby plays bishop to g6, but that also does not help, because the bishop is pinned, and now queen takes h7 is checkmate. Okay, that's the game. I went through it pretty fast. To be honest, I went through it pretty fast because I don't think it's a very special game. Bobby was on level, but because it was the very first game I could find on the internet, I think that it should be published and annotated on YouTube. So, thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I hope to see you again. Bye bye!